passes a long deep back. They throw it back to Cordell Stewart, and he's going to throw deep, and there's nobody there except two Cowboys. Yancey Thigpen, I think, was the intended receiver. The old flea flicker didn't work.
These two corners, Deion Sanders and Kevin Smith, are really cover corners. They aren't going to come up to help on the run anyway. You see, they're going to stay back. So here's Deion. He's not going to worry about a run. You see, so when he sees it's run, he's still going back there. He's going to stay back there. And here's Kevin Smith on the other side. He's staying back there too, because the defensive backs that involve the run are the safeties, not the corners of the Cowboys. This is a great play by Deion Sanders. He's over here covering man-to-man on this side. The pass is going to be to Charles Johnson here in the post. Deion Sanders starts up here, starts to cover his guy. He goes inside, he lets him go. Now he acts like a free safety and gets over to make that play.
Complete.
And we showed how he got over there and what he did when he got over there.
There's Cordell Stewart. Incomplete. Yancey Thigpen, intended receiver, and Deion Sanders was back on the coverage.
Well, they got a little something going there. In that series, Cordell Stewart passed the ball 7 times in a row. And there's Deion back there, and they figured, let's go to work on him. He has to have a bad back. One thing, they could have called Deion for that because he had his hands on him. And again, after 5 yards, you can't touch him. But they aren't going to stay away from Deion Sanders.
Here's Stewart back to throw, going deep, but the coverage is good, and Sanders knocks it away. Yancey Thigpen, the intended receiver.
If you're playing against Deion Sanders, and one of the things the Steelers said, you know, we're not going to worry about Deion Sanders. We're going to go after him. We're going to treat him like any other corner. Yeah, I don't know that you can treat him like any other corner because he covers like no other corner covers.
That's right.
But then if you stay away from him completely, then you play right into the hands and give the Cowboys the strength of an extra man. Those 4, or in the Steelers' case, 5 preseason games. Cordell Stewart's learning that now.
The Cowboys were 2-2 in the preseason. Pass intended for Charles Johnson, incomplete.
I don't know if they've completed anything out there today on Deion Sanders.
I don't think they have.
No, I don't think that's a way. I think I'd find some other place to go.
That's what it feels like. I mean, he locks on, and you're just not going to get by him. Or if you do, he's going to catch up.
Well, to a man, you talk about coaches and players and the respect they have for him, and you hear extraordinary athlete over and over and over. 14. Graham, right side, man is open, short of the first down.
On Deion Sanders.
Yes, and Sanders is going to get flagged.
Yeah, I got flagged last week, too.
He got so excited, he tackled him out of bounds.
And Kent Graham's proud of that because he told us yesterday he'd love to throw at Deion Sanders, and he did just in this play. But look at Frank Sanders here. He's wide open. Here's Rob Moore catching the ball. Watch him on this play. He's got to know where the first down marker is. He should have enough
Personal
cushion.
foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 21 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
To get the first down, but I'll tell you what, Deion's probably proud because there's not a lot of times where you ever hear Deion Sanders' name with a personal foul.
Well, you know they're not going to throw to Deion Sanders' side, and so Kent Graham is going to look to his right this whole play.
Cowboys bring 4. Graham with time.
Oh, yeah. Threw to Sanders. He threw it to Sanders' side, and he had a guy open.
Yep. And Kevin Williams couldn't make the catch.
And Deion Sanders, they've thrown on him twice, and twice the receiver has been open.
And on that play at the end of the play, watch Deion's expression. He can't believe they threw his way. Here's Deion to put a soft cushion, gets a little hit on the wide receiver. Right there, that should be a first down. You should catch that ball. But Deion's expression here, I can't believe they threw on me.
Everett, a much sought-after free agent, came over from the Ravens. From the 19-yard line, the short drop, and the pass is caught, and that's a 6-yard pickup as Chad Lewis, a rookie tight end from Brigham Young, makes the reception. Here comes everybody. First down from the 44. It's a floater. It's a duck that's thrown out of bounds.
I think Coakley hit him right at the end, didn't he? I think talking about the linebackers, I think the rookie got in there and...
What percentage? Third down and 10. Detmer hangs in, throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Irving Fryer, blanketed by Deion Sanders. 4th down.
And Irving Fryer's hurt.
Irving is. He's slow getting up. I thought he was just tired, but now he's limping.
Ooh, and this is critical for Philadelphia. Chris T. Jones is not playing tonight. And Irving Fryer there on the break. He did it on the break.
Which he was a part.
He took over from Robert Smith.
Yep. Here's Meyer. This is what he likes. The Ricky Prohl. Prohl out of bounds. A Bear first down in Dallas territory.
This is a pretty good mixture here. You know, most of the time a quarterback will drop back, but watch here. It's just a little roll out here to the right. And instead of throwing from back here, he's going to throw from this position here. All you do is you take your pocket, instead of having it in the middle, you move it out to the right and you just throw on the run. And as you said, Rick Meyer said if he had his choice.
Made offense and picking up correct people kind of difficult. Pass is high, intended for Penn. Rick Meyer.
Here comes a Hail Mary.
Maybe.
Nope. Gotta go away from it.
Meyer being chased. Chris Penn, the intended receiver. Andy Heck is back at left tackle. Kramer back to throw it. That's incomplete. Chris Penn.
Dave Brown's pass incomplete. Kevin Alexander was the intended receiver, and Deion Sanders was in the mix. So that'll bring up fourth down, and the Giant defense will have to head back on the field shortly.
On timing, but where are you throwing? First you take Alexander on the outside with Deion Sanders. Heck, Deion's just stalking him.
From Indianapolis.
You got my card.
That card's a little brown around the edges, isn't it?
Third down and 12 as Farrar throws and somehow threads the needle to Michael Westbrook for a first down up at the 35-yard line.
And if there is a weakness against Deion Sanders, it's the deep drive to the inside. He likes to lay off the receiver, play the ball. You protect the passer. You can do that a lot against Deion. The problem, if you make a mistake, you might get 4 or 5 completions, and then he might run one back right down your throat. But you can beat him to the inside and deep.
You can beat him with size, Frank, but you can't beat him with speed. 3 yards a whack isn't good enough.
Third and 8. Farrar throws too high. Double coverage as the intended receiver was Alvin Harper trying to split the defense with Sanders and Stoudemire back there. So it's fourth down.
I wanted to go to college then. Taught me a lesson. Brunell again protected well and guns it complete inside the 20-yard line to McCardell. 9 more yards with Deion Sanders making the tackle. And as you said, Phil, they have not been concerned about going left into Deion's area.
Well, that was really the first chance we've seen today up top. Keenan McCardell gets Deion, and everybody said, well, I've said this for years, if you want to attack Deion, do it inside. Please don't throw it to the sidelines because he's very dangerous. But when you go inside, you get that type of protection, you have a chance of completing some passes.
Going deep to Smith. Incomplete, and he got behind Deion Sanders.
That's where he was going the last play. He was going deep to Deion Sanders. Jimmy Smith got by him. They come right back almost with the same play. They said they would go ahead and take their chances against Deion. Most people never go deep on the sideline against Deion. Deion realized he was in trouble, just tried to defend the pass at the end.
Well, Tom Coughlin was totally upset about it because Deion got his hands on him twice, and they never called that either. Now, 3rd and 16. Good protection. Jackson, but Deion was there on the coverage, and it's 3 and out again for Brunell. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If that ball would have been on target, Deion Sanders would have had it. I mean, he was flying. He read it. He saw Brunell coming out to the outside, and watch him make the jump by Jackson. Here goes Deion. Now what? Stumble? You see Jackson come back to the ball. Watch him close. This is what they talk about how fast he is. Look at this. He's there. That's on a rope. He's got it. 2nd down, along 7. Brunell goes deep to McCardell. What a catch by McCardell against Deion Sanders. Even Sanders had to say, wow, that was pretty good. Well, Deion Sanders left the ground too soon is what happened on this, and McCardell waited on the ball.
Well, Paul, I don't think he could have got this ball regardless. Here they are in the slot, McCardell and Deion, and it's just straight up the field. And what makes this in favor of Jacksonville, they got room to the sideline. The throw over the outside shoulder, there is nothing Deion can do on that play.
Well, I understand there's nothing he can do, but I'm just saying right at the end, he jumped a little bit too soon, and what a great catch. Cardell, look at here.
It's the perfect throw, Paul. Deion, look, he gets the hand outside. He almost makes the play, but it's such a good throw by Mark Brunell. And again, inside, so it gives the receiver a little bit better angle going against Deion and his speed down the field.
What concentration by McCardell. 2nd and 7. Brunell to the sideline. It's caught by Smith. And Deion Sanders pushes him out of bounds right at the yardsticks, and they've been true to their word. They've gone at Deion Sanders more than any team we've seen in a long time. You said that, you know, if they're going to attack a left-handed team, they're going to go after Deion Sanders, and he can be beaten on the short stuff, and right there is an example, but the ball has to be perfectly thrown.
Well, you can see it's hard to beat him. It's taking some perfect throws, but you know, this is the strength of this Jaguar offense. The quarterback, the ability to throw the ball well.
Shotgun Brunell. This should take it down to the 2-minute timeout. He's going long. Incomplete. And Deion had him pinned. Jimmy Smith along with Singor Mobley covering Smith. 2 minutes left in the fourth.
Deion Sanders right there.
3 wide receivers. Pete to Pryor, who makes the catch. Again, the ball was kind of behind him, but he still came up with it.
Yeah, Irving Fryer and Rodney Peete both said, you know, that we are going to run these things, that you can run inside patterns, you can run slants like right there, and you can run crossing patterns against Deion. But Rodney Peete better get it out in front of Fryer, and that could be a bigger play.
But they have had that situation. Here's Rodney Peete. He gets it to Irving Fryer. That was not his fault. That was Fryer.
Yeah, and that was kind of a little different ball handling. You know, the Eagles thought that on Deion Sanders you can run slants and crosses, and they weren't going to stay away from him. They're just going to stay away from him on some kind of pattern. But watch what Rodney Peete does. He does a complete circle.
A pirouette.
Yeah, he does a pirouette before he throws that, then whaps it in there.
That's a good throw.
And as you say, that was Irving Fryer's fault. He dropped that ball because he had Deion Sanders beaten on that slant. Let's watch the interception again here. You see when the wide receiver runs across, Deion Sanders becomes free. Then he reads a lineman pull it, so he comes up to play the screen. And what happens is Steve Young just throws it high. This is a poor throw. You see the screen start to develop. And again, the screen man was covered. So Steve Young, I think, was trying to throw it away because he just threw it over the guy's head. And he figured after I messed up a play like that, I'd better make a tackle. It's the third one he's had this year for the 49ers. And like I said earlier, he found a home. Here you look. Deion Sanders has kind of had enough of Terrell Owens, so he was going to whack him.
Sidney Edwards has come in as a third wide receiver for the Cardinals. Plummer has time looking for a receiver and finds one, and it's Rob Moore into Dallas territory to the 42 and a gain of 19.
When he looks outside, this is what he sees. Sanders working on Sanders, and there's nothing there. Got to be a little bit more patient in the pocket.
1st and 10 at the 32, and the pass is caught by Moore, and Deion Sanders pushes him out of bounds, but it'll be another Arizona first down.
Early, I want you to walk down below. The defender slipped with Rob Moore. It was Deion Sanders. He was wide open. We didn't get much more open than that. He wasn't looking to that side. He was looking to the top side.
3 wide receivers, 3rd down, about 8. Farad. Incomplete. Intended for Alvin Harper, which is still a big name in these parts.
Yeah, they're going to go at Deion Sanders. Here's Deion Sanders here with Alvin Harper, his old teammate, but he's not going to get anything. I mean, he still had it, and Frott just threw it right through Alvin Harper's hands. Or Alvin Harper let it go right through his hands, or whatever. Through a prevent zone defense. Omar Stoutmeyer, I guess, was the closest guy to
Here's Farad with time again, and again he's got a man open, and it's incomplete, and there is no flag. It was Alvin Harper who was shaken up earlier and might be shaken up again.
One thing, we talk about play callers and head coaches that call plays and head coaches that are aggressive calling plays. Norv Turner is that guy. Norv Turner isn't going for first downs now. Norv Turner is going for touchdowns.
Well, why not take some shots?
Yep. Remember Alvin Harper, he was always so good at those balls where you would just throw him up there in the air and he'd go up and get him on a jump ball. He didn't have a chance on that one for a jump ball because it was a little thrown behind him and he kind of had to reach back for it.
Asher again in motion. Farad again back to throw. Has time. Does throw. Pass incomplete. Bounces out of bounds, intended for Westbrook.
Anytime you see two receivers in the same area like that, you're going to see Logan and Westbrook end up just side by side right here. One of the receivers is too deep and the other one is too short. And you see right there, well, they were both reacting to the ball, but Logan either should have been a little shorter to get a little more separation between he and Westbrook. Because you see what happens. The ball brings more defenders and also another man.
And he's probably going to have to settle for a field goal. No, he won't either. Chris Thomas.
I told you that Cal Poly guy, you got to watch out. Anytime there's Cal Poly guys in the game, you're going to throw to them on big downs.
How about you go at Deion Sanders?
Go on Deion Sanders with the Cal Poly guy. Here he is right here. Here's Deion Sanders right here. Chris Thomas just gets up like he's going up, and then he just stops. That's kind of a form of a fade stop.
I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a throw by Gus Farad.
I know, he was watching that thing all the way. So
yard line. Farad going for more. Incomplete. Westbrook covered by Sanders. A flag on the play,
and the guy from the middle.
On the defense, number 21, first down.
Yeah, Michael Westbrook said that Deion Sanders has a hold of him. And you can see the hand right there is on him right now, but does he hold him? You say, I don't know. I don't know that that's a hold.
Is that pass interference?
No, unless you go back, unless something happened before that. What we saw in that picture was not pass interference. Here's Deion Sanders right here. And again, you expect that you're going to run him off. And you just watch him. You see, he's just playing zone, just sitting square, looking back at Brett Favre. Brett Favre expected him to be run off. Brett Favre expected him to have his back. Deion Sanders was just sitting there, and he threw it right to him. And Deion Sanders runs very, very little zone. He's usually man-to-man and up in that type of thing.
This time.
Yeah, he's right here. There he goes.
Favre going deep for Freeman. Incomplete. And no flag. There's the flag. Flags came from both sides. Freeman almost breaking clear.
Pass interference. 21. Defense.
Deion Sanders got one for the Cowboys, and he's given up one. Here he is on this side. You usually don't see Deion Sanders on this side. You see him lined up in Antonio Freeman here. He has a man-to-man. Antonio Freeman gives him a little move, and then he gets a step on him, and then he continues to step, and Deion Sanders puts his hands on him. I mean, he had him covered. He didn't have to. This group that's on offense now is beating the group that's on defense in the line of scrimmage.
Favre back to throw. Pass is caught by Mays. That'll be enough for first.
But you know, he's right by the marker. And again, we've talked about this, how a receiver has to be aware. And you can see that he catches the ball, and he's well in front of the marker when the ball goes out of bounds. Back in place as you turn away.
Sanders back there with him.
This happens a lot to wide receivers and defensive backs when they go up for the ball and the ball just hits them on the finger.
And that ball on a day like today is hard.
And he looked down there. Did you see Antonio Freeman? He looked down there at that finger, and he knew that it wasn't pointing the same direction it was when he left the huddle.